Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of Totally Experts with Sap and Shane. Truth be known, this is technically episode 4, but due to technical issues and or weather issues, we're only going to be able to show episodes 1 and 2 for now. Um, TSAP, the weekend, week 2, college football. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some our thoughts on NFL. Um, Talk about what's going on in our life as coaches this week, specifically an incident that I had this week. But to start, let's kick off with high school football. And the only reason I say that is because due to Mother Nature, a lot of games got canceled, postponed, whatnot, and are actively going on as we speak. But there was two that we wanted to talk about, and I'll let you take the lead on that one.
The first game I want to talk about is South Pittsburgh at Sequatchie, and South Pittsburgh pulled out that win, 40-6, dominating performance by South Pittsburgh. They've got South Pittsburgh's got D1 kids on both sides of the football down there. One of their big contributors on defense is Jr. He's signed to play for Clemson, and I think he's going to early enroll. And I know Coach Sullivan's hoping he early enrolls for to go ahead and go to Clemson there before it goes basketball season because dude's an athlete.
Yeah.
But he's an absolute beast out there on the defense for South Pittsburgh, and I'm just when you can beat a school that people are saying could win the 3A state championship as a single A school 40-6. Of course, when I say people, I mean me. I'm the only person I know that said that, but I'm sure there's some people in Chattanooga that have them picked to win to go deep in the 3A playoffs. That being Sequatchie, when you can just go in there and thump a 3A school like that, it's pretty impressive. So I think South Pittsburgh's doing a lot of things well on both sides of the football, and they're going to be a tough out for anybody moving forward.
Yeah, I did watch a little bit of the broadcast on Facebook last night before um, we started trying to record, and then before the weather got bad here where I live. But it looked like they had a packed house and looked like it was a fun night. Um,
Uh,
might not
football
be a bad idea.
football in the
Well,
valley
go
hits
ahead.
different, son.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like I
might not
mean,
be.
it's always crowded regardless.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea provided the weather's good for one night. Maybe us to check one out live or something
Yeah, that'd be cool.
one day. Yeah. So closer to us, where we're at, White County did beat Cookville, I believe, 21-7. Um, and their coach out there at White County, his name has slipped my mind right now, but it's his first year. So that's a big win for him. Um, you know, both sides really want that win. I went to that game 2 years ago and packed house out there. Um, so congratulations, White County, on that win, and to their new coach, congratulations on a big win in his first season. Um, so we'll I know we'll probably recap next episode some of these other big games. I do know that um, Brentwood Academy and
And Baylor,
Baylor
yeah, didn't even get to play, right?
just yeah, and they're not going to redo it. They're
Yeah,
not going to reschedule or anything. And it was a who's who of who was out there. Peyton Manning was out there. Josh Heupel was out there.
yeah.
Um,
A
they
lot
just
of talent on both sides
yes,
for both of
yes.
those teams.
Yeah, they decided not. They're not going to do it. It's logistics. I mean, you both work in high school now. They got more money than what we work with, but
Yeah,
it's still just a logistics thing. So
yeah, and kind of get a
um,
date. I mean, it just don't make any sense.
yeah,
Did Sparta and Cookville play football last year?
I don't know if they did last year, but I know they did 2 years ago.
Because they used to play every year because it was a huge rivalry, and
Yeah,
I just didn't know if because they was taught there for a little bit they weren't going to play anymore, and I don't know if that was just a 1 year thing. I'd have to look and double check and see if they played last year or not. Because
yeah.
one of the cool
We
things that Cookville does, and I could be this could have just been old like back in the day. I don't know if they still do this or not. But the seniors would. This is what my buddy that went to Cookville High School told me is that their seniors would run a mile to Sparta carrying a football, and the bus would like
Yes. Yeah.
go next to him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know if they still do that or not, but I mean, obviously, I think this was at Cookville though, so they probably wouldn't have done that. But I think that's a cool story and a cool tradition if they still do
Yeah.
that. I think that's very unique, and I've not heard of that anybody ever doing that anywhere else, and I think that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I've heard that. Like I said, I don't know if they did last year. 2 years ago, we had some kids that were playing for White County Co-op.
Yeah,
So I went out there to see them. So that's why I was out there 2 years ago. But yeah, as far as last year, I'm not sure. But we'll recap some of that next episode and see if a lot of these games get completed. So um, let's do some college football since some of that's still going on too. Week 1, phenomenal. Week 2, not as many big
Bleh.
time games. Yeah,
I,
Vols played.
I'm gonna throw something out there.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, I don't think that the NCAA should allow them to play non-division, like the whatever they are.
FCS.
Yeah, the FCS schools.
Yeah.
Like
Um.
it's not good TV. It's not good for anybody. I mean, I know they get paid, but every now and
Yeah.
then, spoiler alert, you pay somebody $500,000 and then you lose, and then you get booed
Yeah.
running off the field. That
Right.
may or may not happen tonight. I'm not sure, but
Yeah. I disagree with you, and this is why I disagree with you. So SEC looks like next year or then the
yeah,
year after is going to move to 9 games.
yeah,
Required. Right now they play 8. They're going to be required to play 9, and then they already have a requirement where you have to play at least one Power 5 school.
yeah,
Okay, so if you go to 9 games SEC schedule and then play one Power 5, you've got 2 other games. I'm okay if one of your first 2 games of the year is a cupcake, and I'm okay if you want to schedule your homecoming a cupcake. Okay.
yeah. Homecoming's
Other than
fine.
that, yeah, yeah. I look at it as like a tune-up. Now, to your point, sometimes that tune-up bites you in the rear,
Yeah.
but
Well, if it's a
it's a
tune-up, it
nice
needs to be played the
little
first game of the year and not the second week.
right,
And
right.
I know we do all those
Well, and
Aflac,
I only say
Chick-fil-A
that
slash
because
capitalism
yes,
kickoff games and stuff like that.
right,
But like, there's cupcakes in FBS.
there is,
So like,
but
you can't go play UTEP. I mean, which I know Tennessee's played in the past. Like, you can go play
yeah,
UTEP.
yeah,
You ain't got to play ETSU. I mean, no, like, whatever, or UTC, or Alabama
yeah.
playing
Well, I
Tennessee
think
Tech, or Georgia playing Tennessee Tech.
yeah, I think Tennessee, the University of Tennessee, which is the flagship university of the great state of Tennessee, if Ian Brown ever decides to listen to this podcast. But I think Tennessee, the University of Tennessee, likes to try to keep the money in state, and I think that's why they tried to do that.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, because they're all state schools, so they're all shared with all the same stuff, anyways. Except for
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I know Tech doesn't share it's not the University of Tennessee at Cookville, but
right.
like UT Martin and UTC, and
Be a whole lot cooler if it was.
be a lot cooler if it was. And what's that one in Pulaski, UT Southern, like that. So of course that's a whole different ball game. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
there's cupcakes in FBS, like
No, there is. Also, too, I think and not that this is what you're saying, but I think some people also, like, for instance, last week we played Syracuse. Those games are scheduled, for the most part, years in advance. It's not like, oh, just this past off season we decided to play Syracuse. No, that
yeah,
game was scheduled years ago.
years ago, yeah,
And then you have some people who will schedule games years in advance, and then another school wants to get out of it, and so then they get out of it. So you're left scrambling trying to find
trying
somebody,
to find somebody to play. Yeah,
and yeah. But I get it. I mean, it is. Like I told you, I fell asleep during the second quarter in my chair. But the thing I'm going to say about that, first of all, 72 points, school record. Okay, 500th win at Neyland Stadium. And I say this with Josh Heupel, it is refreshing that we play these so-called cupcakes, and that when we do, we handle business. We
yeah,
don't, outside of Austin Peay year before last, we handle business. Too many other teams, as we're going to get into, don't handle business. So that's good. And it's good experience for all these. A lot of young players played today.
Yeah, and
So
I mean, and that I can like obviously that's a pro of doing it is like you get your young kids get in there and get to see what
another thing I like about it too is now the rules have changed where a player can play 4 games
yeah,
and then still be redshirted.
and still be
So
redshirt. Yeah,
that's a benefit too. So good on the Vols, 2-0. Next week, hosting Georgia. Just information dropped right before we kicked off the pod. College game day will be in Knoxville next week, so it's going to be a madhouse up
it'll be a
there.
madhouse.
We
When was
need
the last time? When was the last time they were in Knoxville?
game day. They were they not up there last year?
I feel like they were.
Yeah, I feel like the last few since Heupel's been there, maybe outside of his first year, they've been there.
I know that they were at the Oklahoma game.
Yeah, maybe that's the one I'm thinking at. So maybe Knoxville was just the year before. I don't remember if they were there for Alabama last year or not. But either way, they've been coming
Either
pretty
way,
regularly. I think 2022 they did like 4 Tennessee games
yeah,
between being on the home and on the road.
yeah.
So
I was
it'll
up.
be a
You know,
madhouse.
we were both up there when in 22 for that Alabama game when game day was there. So
I've ever the game day was there, Barstool was there,
I
SEC
mean,
Nation was
Nation was
there.
there.
What's the guys in the morning from the SEC Network? Ryan McGee and
Yeah,
the guy who has they were there.
everybody
Everybody
was
was
there.
there. Yeah, so hopefully we'll put on a good showing. We haven't beat them since the Dobnell boot in 16. So
Yeah,
couple other things. I think last I looked, Vandy was losing to Virginia Tech. Me and you both agreed that we thought Voltech would win that because that's a tough place to play at night. But let's talk about Florida and Billy Napier, Putnam County's own Billy Napier, playing South Florida. Now, me and you, when we recorded this yesterday, we both picked Florida, but we thought it would be close.
yeah.
And I think we even said we wouldn't have been surprised
No, yeah.
if South Florida would win. But home field advantage, you would think. But
I mean, what were they?
I watched
well,
it.
I know you don't want to talk about that, but 18.5-point dogs. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Which that was a big number anyway, because Alex Golish has got them guys playing.
yeah. And Duke can
They've held
coach.
their own the last 2 years with Alabama. So
Yeah.
dude can coach. He's the former OC from the Vols. Back when in 22 with Hendon Hooker, he was the OC then. Billy Napier. I'm sitting there watching it, and by no means, no stretch of the imagination, am I rooting for Florida. I'm actively rooting for Florida's demise in every shape, form, or fashion. Okay? But I'm sitting there and I'm watching this final drive. It's 16-15, I believe, is what the score was. And South Florida gets the ball, 10, 15-yard line, whatever it is. They throw an incompletion. Then the next thing you know, they get a defensive pass interference. Okay, that happens. Very next play, they have a defensive lineman spit in one of the South Florida players' face. So unsportsmanlike, 15 penalty. He has 2 timeouts. The very next play, they get like a little running back screen out of the backfield. Goes like 26 yards. Doesn't call timeout. Okay. He waits. He's got 2 timeouts in his pocket. This dude waits until they get inside the 10, and there's like 20 seconds left. That's when he decides to call timeout. And you know,
not a good look.
I don't know the time. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. Like Alex Golish played it perfect. They milked the clock, and then he had his last timeout that he called with 3 seconds left. They're on whatever. I guess the 3 because it made it like a 20-yard field goal. So I guess
Yeah.
is that the math? Yeah.
Sure.
So
That field goal math gets me good.
Props to them. Alex Golish, they ought to be ranked. They're in the driver's seat for the, group of 5
Sun Belt
bid,
Conference.
for the playoff.
I think they're in the Sun Belt route.
I think they're in the American now.
Are they? Okay.
And that's I mean, they still got Memphis. I think Tulane is in there.
Yeah.
So I think it's the American. It's a pretty good conference. He probably will not be there after this year. He's probably going to get a check to be somewhere, but good on them. Billy Napier probably not going to make it to the end of the year.
Yeah, they're in the American Athletic Conference.
Okay. I seen a post. Their next games, and I'm going to miss this, the order. Very next game is at number 3 LSU.
Yeah.
Then they got at number 5 Miami, or whatever Miami is. They've got to go. They've got to play Texas A&M. They got neutral site with Georgia. They got Texas.
Yeah.
They still got Tennessee.
I'm gonna go on a little rant here. Okay.
Okay.
Florida was ranked what coming into this game? 13th,
Somewhere in the teens. Yeah.
somewhere in the teens. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they played okay last year. Towards the end of the year, got better. Like once again,
Yeah.
with these preseason ranking crap. Like Tennessee
Yeah.
is in the college football playoff, and yes, Nico did what he did. Had to get a unknown at quarterback to start the year and ranked 24th.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't like these polls don't make any sense because why
No, they
do
don't.
you assume Billy Napier's Florida Litigators is a top 15 team in the preseason rankings? That was just like last year when NC State was ranked and Tennessee absolutely obliterated them,
Yeah.
and then they did nothing the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, like last year, I get Florida State being ranked at the beginning of the year. I mean, they were the year before that. They was a really good team, and so it's okay for them to be ranked. I mean,
yeah.
Florida's
They were undefeated until the bowl game, I believe.
yeah, exactly. So like, I just don't understand Florida being at 13.
Yeah, I mean, you said. I mean, I agree with you. You said, I mean, that's why they do it is how they ended the year. Same thing with South Carolina, how they ended the year. And so they put them in there.
But they weren't ranked at the end of last year. So what makes you think they're a
No,
top 15 team
no.
at the beginning of this year when they weren't ranked last year?
I think how they finished strong. And number one position in football is quarterback, and they thought DJ Flagway is him.
Well, he was 23 of 33 today with a touchdown and interception.
Yeah,
I don't know,
he's not
200 yards.
He's not there. He's not there yet. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Why that happens, I don't know. They just have to throw names in there. I mean, Texas should be up there. Georgia should be up there. Oregon should be up there. Did you see? By the way, did you see Oregon?
I did not.
69-6, I think was the score against Oklahoma State. Power 5, big time program, Big 12. Now there were some words exchanged between the two coaches over the week about money spent on NIL.
That's because they spend Oregon outspends Oklahoma State.
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody.
Everybody outspends Oklahoma State apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. So he probably Dan Lanning probably kept the foot on the gas a little bit.
Probably so.
So Napier's probably out. We're probably going to see him riding around Kuffel up at the Canes or something here shortly because he's going to be up at the Canes. He's going to be out of a job here soon.
Hey, what about does he make it through the year, or do they fire him halfway through?
I don't think he makes it to the end of the year. If I had to put money on,
I think he's fired Monday.
Yeah, it may be because they're not going into LSU and winning.
No,
especially if that game's at night.
I mean, like here's the thing is like if you're going to if I'm whoever's in charge at the University of Florida, if I think now, like right now, like as soon as that game was over with, as soon as that field goal went in, I think he's not going to he doesn't need to be our head coach. You have to do it Monday.
Yeah.
Because because you just allow him to possibly win enough games to be like, oh, now we got to keep him around because he beat Tennessee or blah, 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 whatever. Like if you don't think that he's going to win you a national championship at Florida, then he needs to go Monday because you're just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
Essentially. Go ahead and, I mean, the buyout's the same Monday as it is at week 10. Okay. Yeah. $19 million. Okay. Call Emmitt Smith. He can pay that. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I told you yesterday when we recorded this, had Florida had their president hired and in place last year,
Yes.
he probably was fired last year before they started turning things around. He wouldn't have had the chance to turn it around, but they didn't have the leadership in place. So I think you're right. I think he's gone. I don't know. I'm not ready to say it's going to be Monday, but I agree with you because here's the thing: you need to go ahead and start looking at who you need to be the first people looking for somebody because there's always going to be a search for coaches at the end of the year. You want to be the first one.
Yeah, I mean, and while we're on the topic of the Florida Gators, like what a bad string of hires.
Oh yeah.
I mean, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I say that as a
terrible.
Tennessee fan and most of those coaches have beat us still.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
Well, because
bad.
Tennessee had a bad
By
string of
Florida
hires
standards.
too.
Yeah.
You know,
By Florida standards, bad.
most of that was not our fault. Okay, shout out Lane Train, but like most of that was not our fault. Or
Let me tell you something. Speaking of him, that's what scares me to death is that Florida's going to offer him all the money he wants.
Yeah, I mean, he was down there. Where was he at? FAU.
Florida
Florida
Atlantic.
Atlantic. FAU. I mean,
Boca Raton.
Boca Raton. Yeah, he screams Florida to me. But I think he loves hotty toddy too much. I think.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I think there's only-
welcome to the SIP. I mean, like.
Yeah. I think there's two jobs he would leave there for, and that's it. Alabama and Florida. Now, maybe he holds out to see what happens in Alabama.
In Alabama,
but
yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's an interesting. I think that's an interesting gig to see who gets that if changes are made, and I do believe they're going to be. I mean, it's year 5.
Look, Florida is not, in my opinion, you may disagree. In my opinion, Florida football is not a top 10 program of all time. But
of all time?
Of all time. They're up there. Now, if you want to go last, since the 90s, then 100% they're top 10.
Yeah.
Maybe even top 5. Maybe. But
they're top 15. They're top 15 all time.
Yeah, I think they're in that 11 to 15 range.
Yeah.
Mostly because of what happened since Spurrier took over.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about a team that's won, 3 national championships since 95-ish?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So, even though I hate them, and I'm loving all of this that's happening to them, that's a proud program that deserves better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean,
I'm still loving it.
Proud.
I think they should extend Billy Napier. Honestly,
yeah,
just lifetime contract, Rick Barnes style. But
I mean, it's a proud, storied program. I mean, great college town, unique atmosphere. Yeah, I mean, they deserve better for sure than what they've had.
If not, I'm sure they could probably get Butch Jones to come out there.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
John Gruden's dying to coach somewhere again.
I just don't see it. I love him, but I just don't see it. Looks like Oklahoma is still in the lead. 21-7 now over Michigan, the only top 25 matchup of the weekend.
How's what's the Hail State score right now?
I see the ticker at the bottom. I haven't seen it,
because it was 17-0.
Yeah, that's last time it was 17-0. Vandy is actually up now on Voltech, 23-20.
Oh no.
Nothing would make me happier though to see that collapse.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Vandy's quarterback real quick. Okay, his lawsuit allowed Tennessee to get 2 dogs that weren't going to have that wasn't going to have an extra year of eligibility. Okay, because that running back from Duke is.
He's a dog, yeah.
Yeah, he's a dog. And who's that? What was the other guy? I heard it on the broadcast today, but I can't think of what his name is now. He played really well.
Well, no, I think it's Joey Aguilar, right?
It is, yeah. But I thought it was somebody else too.
Joey Aguilar, and then Star. Is it Star the running back?
Yeah, okay, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, yeah. Star the running back, and then Joey Aguilar. Yeah, there's my
blunder.
There's my blunder. Not near as bad as
No,
Page
that's
winning
the
1A though.
yeah. Yeah. Speaking of UTEP, they're up 7-0 over UT Martin. I see here. So,
Oh,
uh, let me tell you something. I
two
don't know.
bottom
This is a
feeders.
side note. I don't know. I don't know if you've ever been to El Paso where UTEP is at.
I've never been. I've never
I
been
have.
west of the Mississippi River.
Okay. Okay.
So
So I literally now this has been 15 years ago. Maybe they've changed since then. Literally though, you could be driving down the interstate there, and one side of the interstate is UTEP. The other side is the slums of
Mexico,
Mexico,
yep.
like on the hillside. And they have had students be in the library over at UTEP, and stray bullet rounds come in and hit them while they're just trying to study. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, that's why
Um,
I knew that was a thing. My dad was stationed in the Army in El
yeah.
Paso,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah.
he told me about that. That it looked like that in the 80s
Yeah.
or the late 70s. I can't remember when he didn't go to Nam, but so he was in between. He was after Nam, but sometime between 80 before 85 in there.
Yeah. I was asked last year during our Veterans Day program if I was in Vietnam.
Yeah, you were.
So
Every time I get asked some stupid question like that, I just say, "Yep, for sure."
yeah, that's true. So as far as college football, it looks like that's pretty much Mizzou did end up beating Kansas, but
Drink.
that's pretty much Ole Miss overcame Kentucky. I think Bob, no, that's Mark Stoops. I think Mark Stoops is probably in his last year at Kentucky as well.
Well, see, so
But
I mean, you've said that multiple times, and
yeah,
like I just see that, like, yes, it's been up and down the whole time he's been here, but this is not Florida. We're talking about. We're talking about
right,
Kentucky football. So, like, who are you going to get to come in and be there for as long as he has been, and
yeah,
be stable and solid? Like
yeah, I agree.
Kentucky's never going to win a national championship in football. Heck, they can
No,
barely win one in basketball nowadays. So, like, you just like you're just never going to do it. I mean, never say never.
no,
But like, it's not
he's
like
their winningest coach.
yeah, it's not like Kentucky's
You know,
won 4 national championships in football, and this guy's been here for 15 years and never done anything. Like you've never. I mean, the best bowl game you've ever been to is the Music City Bowl, probably. I mean, that's probably not
yeah,
accurate, but like you get the point. Like, we're not talking about Alabama or Florida or Georgia
or even Tennessee.
or even Tennessee. We're talking about Kentucky.
Yeah, because just so we're clear, historically, of all time, Tennessee is a top 10 program. Now, I think they're probably number 10, but maybe 9, but they are. But no, you're right. I think it's just to get a change up because it has gotten kind of bland and it's just the um, same old thing. I mean, honestly, if I'm the AD at Kentucky, once he brought Will Levis in, I'd have got rid of him right then and there. But that's just because he's a bum. But
Here you are with this Will
I
Levis
don't
hate
know.
again.
We'll see.
Did War Eagle play anybody today?
Yes.
We got to get a shout out for
they,
Auburn for Joey.
You know, I don't know off the top of my head. I do know that Baylor, who they played last week, had a big win over ranked SMU, so that makes their win look better. But as far as
A double
Auburn
overtime.
playing,
Double overtime. That game went to double overtime.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as Auburn playing, I don't know. But that reminds me, when I was looking, I was watching the broadcast of, I think this game currently, and they were showing what all the top 10 teams were doing this week. Notre Dame is idle. What are we talking about? It's week 2. Why are you on a bye? Week 2.
I mean, every
What are we-
every game on their schedule is a bye when you don't have to play in a conference.
That is true.
I think they should
That
be
is
forced to
true.
play in a conference if you want to start talking about Notre Dame. Like you,
Absolutely.
I mean, now granted, they already get punished because they can only be. It doesn't matter if they're undefeated, number 1 ranked team in the country. They can still only be a number 5 in the playoff.
That's right.
But like, still, I know they're getting punished in that aspect. But just join a conference, bro. Okay, don't act like you're too high and mighty. We got all the money in the world. We don't need to do. Just come on, get in the conference and let's go.
They're in a conference in basketball, right? They used to be the Big East. I don't know if that's still,
Yeah, I don't know. They're in
yeah.
the ACC in basketball, maybe.
Maybe because they do kind of co-op with the ACC a little bit in
Yeah,
football. That's why you'll have like a Notre Dame Clemson game every once in a
yeah.
while.
I think they're in the ACC for basketball, but they used to be in the Big East
Yeah.
for
Okay.
sure.
I haven't seen anything on the bottom about Auburn yet, but
Okay, Alabama's still
I'll,
killing
I'll keep an eye on.
ULM. I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I sent you that tweet. I wanted to I wanted to get Alabama in there, so bring that tweet up. But I saw the video, and they're interviewing this lady at some random gas station,
Yes.
and she's just bought a Powerball ticket, and she says, "What are you going to do?" The reporter asked her, "What are you going to do if you win the lottery?" She said, "The first thing I'm doing is spending $70 million to pay for Kalen DeBoer's buyout," and it's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she said she was gonna give some to the church. And that's what but she said she was buying him out first. So I guess that in her mind she would be doing the Lord's work if she did that.
Speaking of Alabama
So
again, I saw I'm a huge Nick Saban guy. So even though not an Alabama fan,
yeah.
mad respect for Nick Saban. But I saw a video about him earlier, right before we got on here, about how I guess it was right after the ULM game or whatever, when they lost his first loss or whatever. He got to his
First
car.
year, yeah.
He got to his car and he didn't have any gas in it, so he had to go to some random gas station and put gas in it. And he walked in there. He said he used to wear his LSU championship ring. He walked in there to the gas station, and the clerk at the gas station is like, "What is that?" And he's like, "That's my it's my national championship ring from LSU. We're gonna do that at Alabama too." And the cashier looked at him and said, "Not as long as that Nick Saban guy's the head coach." Had no idea that he was.
Yeah.
That's those are good Nick Saban stories.
I would venture to say that after that, Nick Saban never pumped his own gas again. You know what I mean?
Well, in the video,
Somebody
he said I had
probably
to go.
did it
I had to go to like a self-serve. That's how he called it, a self-serve.
for him. He's out there with the normies.
Yeah.
Also, early second quarter, South Carolina State 3, number 10 in the country, South Carolina 0. Mississippi State
Is that at South Carolina State?
Over no. Mississippi State and the Cowbell are only up 7 though. So,
That'd be like Tennessee playing Tennessee Tech at Tennessee Tech.
yeah, never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
Things that
I was shocked 2 years ago when Alabama went to South Florida. Remember that was like the monsoon. Nick Saban looked.
Yeah.
It looked like he was just a broken man.
Yes.
Because it's like, and we're gonna start with the NFC. So NFC South. Who do you think's got that division?
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I agree. I think Carolina will be better. I think Atlanta. We'll see with Penix.
Kirk Cousins ain't
New
starting in
Orleans,
there no
no
more.
issues.
Kirk Coles cutting
I don't-
Cousins.
You like that? You like that? Yeah, no, I don't think so. NFC North. I know me and you got different picks here.
Yeah, I think the Green Bay Packers win the NFC North.
Okay, and I'm going Detroit Lions. I just think last year they won it and they were depleted defensively by the end of the year. So as long as they could stay healthy, I think it's their division.
If JJ what's his last name?
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
JJ
yeah.
McCarthy.
Okay. If he's solid, Minnesota will have a chance. Do all three of those teams make the playoffs? If Minnesota's good?
I'm going to say no, only because I think you're going to have two really good teams in the NFC East, and then you're going to have the NFC West that's going to have 2 or 3 teams that are going to be fighting.
Yeah.
Side note, War Eagles up 35-3 on Ball State. So
Oh, okay.
there you go.
There we go.
Shout out Joey if he's laying in bed and he hears this. So,
War Eagle.
yeah. So
That about made me throw up. Just saying that.
Yeah. I don't think 3 teams from the NFC North get in, only because there's going to be, I think, 2 teams from every division in the NFC that can make a case.
I do not think there's 2 teams from the NFC South that can make a case.
outside of
The winner of that
outside of
division,
the South.
the winner of that division will be
Yeah.
9-8.
Yeah. Outside of that division, I think everybody else will have 2 or 3. Because I mean, Dallas looked good the other day. You know, the Eagles are going to be there.
Yeah.
Commanders could probably be there. We'll see. NFC East defending champs until otherwise
You know,
with the Eagles.
we kind of talked about this. You know, last night when we had technical difficulties. But you know, the NFC East is one of those things where the same team don't really win it year after year.
That's true.
Yeah, it's been up and down. So I'm going to say that the Dallas Cowboys win the NFC East this year.
All right.
He just says, "All right."
All right. I'm still going to go with the Eagles just because I don't trust the Cowboys, and I don't want to say the Commanders yet because it's year 2 under Jaden Daniels. What if he has a sophomore slump?
I mean, I just saw Jerry Jones in a Dr. Pepper commercial. Lock in the Cowboys.
There you go.
Lock them in.
What about the NFC West?
The NFC West. We kind of talked a little bit about this too.
I think we had different picks.
We had different picks on that one, but I kind of forgot that the Rams even exist.
Yeah.
You know, all the way out there in La La Land. You know, I think the 49ers have as good a chance as anybody if they can stay healthy. Seattle's kind of, I don't think Seattle, it's between the 49ers and the Rams to me. The Cardinals will be good until Call of Duty comes out. And yeah, so I still think I'm going to pick the 49ers. When you go into order, so I'm going to put this in. Okay, just so you're aware.
Okay.
But so like when you go in,
I have no shame in it.
well, I know you have no shame in it, but like, well, then that kind of defeats the purpose of my question. But when you go in to order one of those places, do you like slide it on like, I want a black coffee, and you slide, you give her a piece of paper that says pumpkin spice latte? Are you one of those guys, or do you just say I need a venti pumpkin spice latte?
That like a venti hot pumpkin spice latte because I do not care if they had it year round. I would drink it. I do not. We do not care. You know,
we do not care.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Are you a Starbucks guy or a Dunkin' guy?
I'm more of a Dunkin' guy just because I would rather have regular coffee and then them just put like the pumpkin flavor in it instead of the latte. But with Dunkin' though, you got some variation depending on who's working, you know, at least with Starbucks, which I'm not like a Starbucks stan, but they have a method that they follow. But 7 Brew, we got one of those in Cookville, and then we're fixing to have a
Dutch
Bros. Yeah. So that's pretty good too. But yeah,
too many daggum coffee places out here in the world.
Yeah, well, and that's just the branches. We've got several mom and pop places here in Cookville.
Yeah.
Shout out to one of my former students' mom. Former student of mine joined. It may have been a former student of yours as well. I'm not sure, but she joined the Air Force, and so her mom is getting ready to take the family out to go visit for graduation, and so they're selling homemade pumpkin cookies to raise up some money. So you already know I put in 2 orders on those, and those should be delivered Monday to school from what I'm being told.
I've not heard about this. I do like some pumpkin rolls and pumpkin pie. So I bet pumpkin cookies are the bomb.
Well, you probably know who I'm talking about. So
I know
you could, if you're Facebook friends with her, but if it's too late, I'll share. I got 2 dozen. You come by the room.
I'll buy one from you. I'm so tight that I squeak when I walk, son. I can't be dealing out a whole bunch of money here. I mean, you hand out money to people like it's going out of style, like it's burning holes in your pockets.
Look, one thing they never warned me about when I become a teacher is the amount of fundraising that goes on, specifically in that first month before we get paid for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard, son. It's not hard. You say no. I'm not
Well,
buying anything.
there's
I'm broke.
there's there's one. Um, Her sister for the last 2 years has been my go-to. Like I just made it easy. I was like, I only buy from her. Um, she's graduated. Shout out ammo. But now her sister's there, so I'm like, well, I gotta stick with the family, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but you know how it goes.
Man,
I'm a softy like that.
I just
I
buy
do it for the
stuff for my
kids.
I just buy stuff for my players. So
Yeah. Well, if they ask you, right?
yeah, if they ask me, I'm not seeking them out.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's right.
if you're watching this, you want
Um,
me to buy something from you, you got to ask.
yeah, yeah. I did the same thing. I said I'll buy. What was it they were doing? Was it candles?
Yeah, candles. Yeah.
I said I'll buy one candle from each one of the flag girls, and only two of them asked me.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but um, all right. So that takes care of the NFC. Let's go to the AFC. So AFC, we'll save the South for the end because of the Titans. So let's go
Okay.
AFC West.
AFC West. Um, you know, Chargers Chiefs Friday night in Brazil. Chiefs made a little run. What do you think about Mahomes just gingerly trotting out of bounds and then shoulder checks this guy, lowers the hit stick on him? Do you
If
think
I'm
that?
Andy Reid, I'm telling him don't ever do that again.
Well, for sure, but like, do you think? Because I mean, I've seen all kinds of stuff on Twitter today and Reddit and all over the place about who should be flagged, blah 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 blah. Like, I understand, like, because if the defensive player hit him like that as he's going
It
out of
would have been a
bounds,
flag.
it would have been a flag. So, and I know he's a quarterback, so it's blah blah this, protect, protect,
Yeah.
protect, which I get, I understand. But like, I mean, because like their argument was like it should be flagged like a fake slide should be because he's giving himself up and then he trucks the guy
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
literally get no yards.
to
He
get-
still stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say what half a yard, if that.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Kenny Pickett a few years ago when he was
Yeah.
in college and he did that fake slide. Now, don't get me wrong, very athletic move,
Oh yeah,
but not really fair because they, as the defender, has to
Yeah.
basically give up on it when you go to do that. So
yeah. I feel like
don't
it's
think
like
it
one of
should have
those spirit of the game things.
been-
one of
yeah.
those-
I don't think a flag.
One of those million
yeah.
unwritten rules of baseball type things.
Yes, yeah, no, I agree.
So I hadn't made my pick yet. I got off on a tangent.
Yeah,
It happens.
yeah.
I still think that I don't even think the Chargers will be the number 2 seed in the district. Whew, buddy, I'm all over the place tonight. In the division. Jeez, whew, son, getting rough out here. In the
Totally experts.
in the division, I think that the Broncos will be, but the Chargers did look pretty good. I got Justin Herbert on one of my fantasy teams, so I was glad he balled out.
Yeah,
Yeah. I still think that's the
I knew
Chiefs
he was.
division to win, though.
Yeah, yeah. I knew he was solid. I seen this stat pregame that he has the most passing yards through the first 5 years of someone's career.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he can sling it.
I'm with you. I still think it's the Chiefs division, but I think it's the Chargers that are the ones nipping. The Broncos I think are going to be solid,
Yeah.
but you may not like Jim Harbaugh, but dude can coach. You know.
Yeah, no.
So
I do like
but
Jim
I'm going
Harbaugh.
to go Chiefs until we see otherwise.
Well, we just saw otherwise Friday night.
That's true. But
So-
hey, one game does not a season make.
Okay. All right.
AFC North.
AFC North. Baltimore, as much as it irks me to say, Bengals could win the division if they can protect Mr. Burr and play a little
Stop
defense.
somebody on defense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop somebody on defense.
Joe
I'm
Burrow
with
can't
you,
go out there and
Baltimore.
score 50 points a game. I mean, he can, but like he needs a little help
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. Baltimore, but would love to see the Bengals.
Did you speaking of Baltimore? Did you see Manti Te'o today on the
did
NFL
not.
Network?
No, I
Or
didn't.
I don't know if it was today or whatever. It could have been whenever.
Was
It
his
was.
girlfriend with him?
She was actually. But he was going through something about why Lamar Jackson was going to be the MVP again. Which, hey, way to go out on
Maybe.
a limb, buddy. Congratulations. But he was doing some kind of he had this big old board out and he was doing math equations and how, it's the year of when the MVP is going to be given out. It's going to be the year of the GOAT. Which shout out. It's the year I was born in the year of the goat. But and then like goat has something about then eight's a lucky Chinese number in Chinese, that it was so lucky that the Olympics were held on 8/8/08 in Beijing, and they started the event at 8:08 p.m. and all this kind of stuff, just to get that. And then he takes off a Lamar Jackson. He unbuttons his coat and he's got a Lamar Jackson jersey on. Whole lot of stuff about the number 8 just to say that Lamar Jackson's gonna win the MVP. But anyways, one of the comments
Stupidest
was,
thing I've ever heard.
yes, no, it was one of those things that was so dumb that I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah.
But one of the comments on the I think it was on TikTok. One of the comments was like, this is those math equations. He was trying to explain how his girlfriend was real that whole time, and I was like, that's tough.
I wonder how many people that watch this will even get that reference.
I mean, I didn't even know he was doing anything. When I saw the video, it said Manti Te'o. I was like, this dude still is around?
I'm wanting to say on Christmas, when the Chiefs played on Christmas on Netflix, I want to say he was part of the broadcast. I could be wrong.
He probably was. I mean, I guess it was on the NFL networks like TikTok or whatever shared it. So he works for the NFL Network, which is owned by ESPN now,
he
right?
was. Supposedly,
yeah.
Allegedly.
There you go. Don't sue us.
All right. AFC East. Don't sue us like Pat McAfee.
Yeah, AFC East. You just got to say allegedly every time. Yeah, then it's whatever.
It's okay.
Then it's okay. NFC son, I'm telling you, I'm on one tonight. I'm all over the place. AFC East. AFC East. I was joking the other night when I was talking about the Dolphins. No, I mean, Mike McDaniel wears capri pants. Okay, they're not winning division.
Yeah.
The Bills.
Yeah, I agree. The Bills. I will be interested to see what Vrabel does up there in New England, but it's still the Bills.
Yeah.
AFC South, we're here in Tennessee. We got the Titans, Cam Ward era starting up. Who you got in the South?
I'm sticking with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win the AFC South.
Jacksonville. I'm not going to do the Duval thing again because it was cringe enough the first time.
Duval.
Duval, yeah, that dude's a weirdo. Trevor Lawrence, if not now, win. Indy's got all kinds of problems. Some their own doing, some just because they've had a change in ownership due to death.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with the Texans. C.J. Stroud, year 3, defense, and then probably Jacksonville. Although I did tell you I could see a scenario that if a play is made here, ball bounces this way, maybe the Titans finish second in the division, because I think the division is so bad that not a great record is going to be required to hit second in the division.
Yeah. Still only one team from the division goes to playoffs, though.
Absolutely.
I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. I threw you for a loop when I asked you this last night, but who is your MVP for the year?
Who is my MVP? Well, I'm not going to pull out a whiteboard and do 4,000 equations to figure out who it's going to be. After watching the Chiefs and the Chargers game, if the Chargers have a good year, Justin Herbert has all the possibility in the world to win MVP. He can sling it. So I mean, I think he's in the conversation. Obviously, Lamar Jackson's always in the conversation.
Josh
Allen's always in the conversation. I think C.J. Stroud, if he has a good year, could be in the conversation. Joe Burrow will be in the conversation if the Bengals are any kind of count. And then Mahomes is always in the conversation just because he's Mahomes. So my prediction for who will be the most valuable player is I'm gonna pick Justin Herbert.
Okay. I'm going to stick with what I said last night. I'm going to say Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow, in my opinion, for a team that didn't make the playoffs last year, had a good argument to be it last year. So if they can just win 1 or 2 more games defensively and be in the playoffs, then, so that's going to be my pick. And then the Super Bowl. Who's your 2 teams for the Super Bowl?
It's kind of a very hard thing to try to pick when, because you got a bunch of really, really solid teams everywhere at the top and then really bad ones at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think I said last night Packers and Chiefs, and I still feel like that the Packers, with the addition of Micah Parsons, it's a big time player to get. I still think Packers and Chiefs, and then the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, and Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift ride off into the sunset as Super Bowl champions. That's just yeah. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy guy. I know you asked me that the other night. I'm not a conspiracy guy. Mahomes Mountain, Chiefs too much. They're deep. I mean, Andy Reid's solidified himself as the Bill Belichick 2.0 in my opinion, of just the system and the success. And I think they're just too much at all the times. Because I mean, they're kind of finicky during the regular season because they'll play bad and lose some games and then play really good and dominate. But it's like when the playoffs start, it's just a switch is on. And Josh Allen's got he can't beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. He can't beat him when it matters. There's only one quarterback that's beaten Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs when it matters.
Joe
Burrow. That's it. End of list. Okay.
Yeah.
So until somebody else does that in the AFC, as I don't think the Bengals will be there, have a chance to do that, then it's Kansas City Chiefs. And the Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
It's a solid pick. I don't think you're wrong with picking them. I'm going Bills versus Lions. I just like the Lions. But
I like the Lions too.
I'm going with the Bills to win it. Yeah, I'm going with the Bills to win it. If it's time. What was it in the 90s? They went to 3 straight and lost. Was it 3 or was it 4? I think it was 3.
I think it was 3.
So it's time.
Yeah.
So
you know how bad I want to put the Cowboys in the Super Bowl prediction.
Look, I don't think they will ever get there as long as Jerry Jones is still alive and running the team. Vanderbilt is up 37-20, so with 5 minutes to go. So
my
Vandy's
gosh, just a complete takeover there. So is Vandy better? Maybe Diego whatever Pavia's national championship or buzz for Vandy. They're better in South Carolina.
I will tell you, like I told my mom and dad call me because they're on their way to a cruise right now, and they've never been on one. And so my mom, I'm not making this up, so shout out my mom if she watches this, because I did make fun of her. She was like, I just wanted y'all to hear my voice, and I was like, you ain't gonna die, Mom. Like it's not the Titanic. Like there's safety precautions. Like you're gonna be all right.
There's enough lifeboats for most people.
Yes. So my dad was asking like how the Tennessee game went and stuff, and he was like, "What about Vandy?" And I was like, "Well, they hadn't played yet." And then I stopped and I said, "Dad, quit asking me about Vandy. Don't nobody care about Vandy." He's like, "Well, I work there sometimes." Well, good for you, but I don't care about them though. Like nobody cares.
I'm going to Vandy. Or no, I'm not going to Vandy. I'm going to Belmont and. Next week? Yeah, next week.
Next week? Yeah. What are you going there for?
The BCAT Coaches Clinic.
Okay.
And see, Penny Hardaway's going to be there.
Casey Alexander, is that right? Head coach at Belmont?
Yeah.
Was it Lipscomb took over for?
And then I think Bart Brooks is still the girls' coach, if I'm right. I think.
That I don't know.
At Belmont. But yeah, Casey Alexander is the boys' coach at Belmont.
Yeah. So that takes care of our NFL. So in the world of coaching, I don't know. I know you've been doing a few things this week. I don't know if there's anything that you wanted to share, but I'm going to go on and tell the story. We teased it in the pod last night, the episode last night, but since nobody's going to get to hear that, this week, TSAP, I have been accused of being a cheater.
Yeah.
And having no ethics, no morals.
His integrity as a man has been questioned. So I have to ask the question, did you cheat?
I did not, TSAP. I did not. So this is the breakdown. My daughter's a freshman and she's on the high school volleyball team. And as you know, in high school volleyball, they home team parents they get two volunteers to line judge. Um, Now I'm going to say something that probably most of our viewers that we have already know, but I'm something of a line judging savant. Like
Line judge
I've been
connoisseur.
asked, yeah, yes, I've been asked to give classes on my line judging skills. Um, in the line judging world,
You sound like
I'm pretty
somebody
legit.
else we know right now.
So, so um, some students are coming out. There's a lot of people are saying it. A lot of people are saying that they're coming out to just watch me line judge. Okay, so this is what happened.
Nobody's saying that.
There a lot of them are saying it. So um, we're out there. I'm gonna leave the names of the schools involved now, but I'm out there, and I always normally do the side that's up against where all the visiting fans are, mostly because I just don't care. So first set, our girls win, easy peasy. I was actually kind of bored. I had nothing coming my way. So first one's done and over. Their coach was fired up, but rightfully so. He was fired up at his own players. They just didn't have any motivation, it seemed like. Second set comes around, and we have a serve from our side that comes over to me and hits on the line. Now, in case you're confused, in volleyball, if it hits the line, it's in. So I call it in. None of the players from the opposite team reacted. The coach didn't even really react, but the fans started reacting. They started saying I was blind, asked if I needed glasses. And then one gentleman in particular was like, "Man, do you even know the rules?" And I just turned to him and as nicely as I could, I said, "Buddy, if it hits the line, it's in." He goes, "That was a full ball length out." I said, "No, it wasn't." I turned around. The ref turns around and tells them to quit talking to me because I don't get paid for this.
Well, your first
Well, as
mistake was
luck would have it,
engaging with the fans in the first
yeah,
place.
yeah. But I said it cordially because let me tell you, I've had some situations the last few weeks where the fans have been upset, but then I've always had fans from the other team still come up to me and say, "Hey, they're a bunch of yahoos. You called everything right.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job." This did not happen this night. So another one comes in, same set, hits in the exact same spot, hits the line. I point in. The coach starts losing his mind. His players still never react. So that's a telltale sign to me. The players didn't react. But the coach starts freaking out. The fans start calling me a cheater, saying it's pretty sad that I have to cheat. It's okay, girls. If they feel better about cheating, we're just going to have to overcome and all this. So the coach is losing his mind. The officials say something to him to calm him down, whatever. It gets over. So in between sets, I just go over there and I'm standing right by him. I'm just drinking my Diet Coke, chilling. Some of our girls come over and say, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." There you go. No free shout outs, right?
Oh
Um,
yeah.
the other person line judge, she comes over and says, "Hey, do you want to swap?" And I say, "No, I'm good." Well, the other official comes up to me. He says, "Hey, man, you doing okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm doing good." He said, "You want? Why don't you come over here to the other side?" I said, "No, buddy, I'm good." He says, "Why don't you go ahead and come over to the other side?" And I was like, "If you want me to, I will." He said, "No, you're doing a good job." I said, "I know I am." So he
My
walks me
God.
over there and he says, "I really appreciate you keeping your cool." And I was like, "Well, I work here. I'm not going to do anything that's going to get me in trouble." So I get over to the other side. There's still some calls that they don't like. The official has to get on to the coach again. So now our boys that are in the stands start antagonizing the situation even worse in a funny way. And it just made it a kind of hostile environment. But my integrity was questioned. I was called a cheater. So I wanted to set the record straight. Those balls were in. Those were good calls. So I don't think I'm line judging anymore the rest of the year. I looked at the schedule and I don't think I'm scheduled to do it anymore. But yeah, so told our AD this, and as I'm walking down the hallway the other day, he says, "Good morning, cheater." So I just want to get the record straight. Mr. Hall did not cheat. I called it fair and square, just like it is. But here's the thing, man. Like, we're talking about high school volleyball. Like, there's no reason to be getting that worked up about high school volleyball. And I'm not trying to diminish what the girls are doing out there, but come on. Like, what are we talking about? You're trying to relive your glory days or live vicariously through your kids. It's not that serious. Like, calm down. Life goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you should. I mean, son, you should see some of these people at football games, and it gets wild for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I mean and that particular situation right there is why, we have a referee. I mean,
Yeah.
a referee shortage. There's many other reasons, but like that one in particular is the reason we have a referee shortage, and
Yeah.
coaches being a
100%.
part of it. And I don't know the guy that was the coach over there, but like in volleyball, the coach isn't supposed to talk to the officials at all. Like the captains are supposed to go talk to him. So like
Right.
from the limited amount of knowledge that I have, he should have at least got a yellow card or possibly even a red card and been, red card would be
Yeah.
2 techs and
Yeah. There was
essentially 2 techs and
conversations.
gone. But like, I mean, you're not supposed to the captain's supposed to talk to, which is
Yeah.
completely different from basketball because like you don't want to
Right.
like I don't want my kids talking to the referees at all.
Right.
Don't even look at them.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I tell mine all the time. Like I said, I'll talk to them. You just play. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And but I want.
Well, like I said, to their credit, the girls on the team, the opposite team, never reacted to it. Never. So either one, they just didn't care, or B, they could clearly see that it was in two. No, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. They were tough calls. 2 inches, inch and a half, it's out. But it's a tough call. But no, I thought the same thing. Like this is why we have referee shortages and referee issues. And,
Yeah, I mean
and stuff like that.
that's why in high school football you're having to have there's this designated date that you have to play on a Thursday night now because there's just not enough officials to go around. That and they probably don't get paid enough, and then they don't. I mean, there's a lot of other reasons, but
Yeah.
I think
No,
I
it's
think
like,
I think irate coaches and fans though is one of the bigger driving forces of the referee shortage.
Yeah.
Because
I've
who wants to go out there and
seen
listen
in,
to
like,
that?
Yeah, no, for sure. I've seen it in like little league, like youth league baseball and stuff. Like some of these parents get real mad, and then they're out there posing with their rings too, like they've accomplished something. Like you're 40 something years old, brother. Like, go get a job. I mean, do something. Like, what are we doing? But I was
Well,
taken
I
back
also
by it
think that
being
them
for
AAU
volleyball.
tournaments. I mean, it's not AAU, but whatever travel baseball that
Yeah.
give out fake championship rings for winning a travel ball tournament is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
When there's like 3 teams, and then
Well, I mean, regardless of how many teams there are, I don't care. I don't care if there's 100 teams in that thing. Shouldn't get a fake ring for doing anything.
right. No, I agree. I agree. So I did do one of my soapboxes last night. I know that one kind of sounded like one. And I know we're coming up on the time, but got to get one in.
Don't worry about the time.
Got to get one in. I'm gonna have one every week because there's already 3 that I should have already done already with college football being here. But something happened this week. So while all this is going on at the volleyball game, I'm missing what's going on in the world of sports because I'm locked in on that, right? So I get home and I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see Ryan Clark, ESPN analyst, former safety, I believe, for the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day. And he's on probably First Take with Stephen A. And Dan Orlovsky. And they're having this debate about whether or not Arch Manning is generational talent. And Orlovsky was like, well, then what is generational talent to you? And Ryan Clark, this idiot, says Patrick Mahomes, he's generational talent. Okay, I can get down with that. John Elway, he's generational talent. Okay, I can get down with that. But then this guy says that Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, he does not believe they are generational talent. So I've come up with 2 conclusions of why this mouth breather, this idiot from ESPN would say this. It's either 1, he's just trying to get clicks, Or two, he's salty because Tom Brady and Peyton Manning probably whipped his tail more times than what he'd like to admit whenever he was playing because he played against them. Like, Tom Brady, you know this. I'm not a Tom Brady like fanboy. Peyton Manning's my guy.
I'm a Tom Brady fanboy.
VFL, brother. But Tom Brady's the GOAT. You you can't be the GOAT and not be generational talent. Now, you asked me this last night when we recorded this. What does it mean to be generational talent? And I said winning, impact, and statistics. Okay. Now, doesn't necessarily have to be all three because I think we can both agree Dan Marino was generational talent and he didn't win a Super Bowl one. But Tom Brady and Peyton Manning won, impacted the game, and have the stats. I think he even said Drew Brees. Don't quote me on that. But
I'm pretty sure he
what a
did throw
stupid,
Drew Brees in there too.
yeah. What a stupid thing to say. And then to double down on it, today they're doing a show, and all it was against Peter Schrager, and all Peter Schrager was saying, and I don't owe anything to Peter Schrager, but all he was saying is that he didn't feel like he felt like CD Lamb outperformed AJ Brown. Now, me and you were in the fantasy league together, and I believe you have CD Lamb,
I always have CeeDee Lamb.
and I have AJ Brown. Who performed out the other one?
CeeDee Lamb. He had 20 and AJ Brown
CD
had
Lamb.
0.
Ryan Clark said, "Well, AJ Brown had a better night because he won." And he was like, "But that's not what we're talking about. We're saying he didn't perform well." And he said, "Well, that's the non-player in you. I'm sorry, no." Now he's had to apologize because that's a stupid thing to say. Okay, just because somebody didn't play at the NFL level does not mean they cannot see that somebody didn't have a good game. This guy's an idiot. I don't know what he's talking about. And one other thing I said last night is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I've got to back down from that because I thought about this after I said that. On this show, I'm going to speak for both of us. We support our veterans on this show. We love our veterans, okay? I used to work with a girl who shot competitively, right? And she said that one time her and her husband went and shot with Chris Kyle, American Sniper. They made a movie about him. Most confirmed kills in American history, right? This is what she said. We went shooting with him. I wasn't that impressed. TSAP, I looked at that woman and I said, I was sitting at my desk. She was standing in my doorway. I said, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You can go on down the hallway." We're talking about the American Sniper. Okay, tell me that you weren't impressed. It's like, oh, I went and played horse with Michael Jordan. I wasn't that impressed. Are you freaking kidding me? What are you talking about? So outside of that, Ryan Clark saying that Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are not generational talent, stupid. I got nothing to say, but just stupid.
You said an awful lot, and I have nothing to say.
Write this date down. TSAP has nothing to say. No, nobody will believe. I'm gonna write down to get today's Tennessean and be like, "This is the day that TSAP had nothing to say."
I didn't say I had anything. I didn't have anything to say. I said you had a lot to say when you said you had nothing to say. That's what I mean. That's what I said. It may not come across that way. I always have something to say.
I got you. Well, that's what I thought. That's what I'm accustomed to.
I always have something to say. No, I mean that's your rant. That's your thing. I think that was a idiotic comment. Maybe if you're having to apologize once a week for something you say, you might just need to like chill out a little bit.
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
You're all coworkers at ESPN. Like, why are you going at this guy? And I don't even know who he is. I don't even know who the other guy is.
Yeah, he used to be with the NFL Network, and now he's with ESPN. He's a well-known, hard-working NFL reporter, writer, what have you. He knows his stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, obviously, like, if I'm a player, like, I don't care how well I perform as long as we win. But, like, I don't think that's what they were talking about, though. I didn't see the clip. I just saw the reaction on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, those are two different conversations, They weren't saying who's happier. I'm sure AJ Brown was happy to get the win. He would, if you're a good team player, you prefer to have the win over your own personal stats. That wasn't the conversation. The conversation was that CD Lamb outperformed him, and he did.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a crazy thing to say.
Yeah.
So
No, it's not.
I don't know. It just when I seen that, I was like, "That's," and maybe I just love Peyton Manning so much, but I had to come to Tom Brady's
Yeah.
defense
I mean,
too
I think that's really what got you all in a wad there was like, don't talk. That's my quarterback. You pulled a
he's
TO
my
out here.
quarterback, man.
That's my quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
We
what are
talking
we
about my
talking
quarterback.
about? Yeah. Well, and my brother loves Tom Brady, like TB12, all that stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not all about that
I've
life,
got
but when
Tom Brady's
someone's the
book on my
goat,
bookshelf if you want to read it.
no, I do not want to read it. But
FYI.
um,
It's pretty good.
anytime someone is known as the goat of whatever it is they do in whatever profession, they're generational talent, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
just just stupid. So, did you have anything going on coaching wise this week you want to talk about?
No, I mean, we
Got
ain't
some,
we ain't doing anything. Just
yeah,
making graphics and stuff, trying to promote the kids, get them out there as much as we possibly can, and you know, trying my hand at some graphic design work and that kind of
yeah,
stuff. Trying to get better at that, and trying to be a photographer as well on the side there for
yeah,
them to get them stuff out. But that's about all we're doing, lifting and trying to get prepared for November because
yeah.
winter is coming, and you know that old saying that I really like a lot, and I'm going to butcher it, but soon winter will be asking what you did all summer.
Yeah,
I mean it's right there around the corner. November will be here before we know it, and it'll be go time. So just
yeah.
trying to get prepared as much as we possibly can.
I've told you this before. I used to think that I knew a lot about basketball, and then the more I am around you, the more I realize, as far as like X's and O's and stuff,
Yeah,
I don't know as much as what. But I will tell you this from an outsider looking in, whatever the end result is, your girls have been putting in the work in the
yeah,
summer, and some of it, most of it, has been they just took it upon themselves.
yeah. No, yeah. A lot of it,
Now I know the morning workouts and stuff has been more organized, but like, this summer, that's just what them girl and they're all together, they're all doing it. Yeah, they have their fun, but they've been putting in work, and like I said, a lot of it has been on their own choice.
Yeah, I saw this interesting quote the other day, and it was I don't remember. I don't know who it was. I just saw a video, and it was some woman who coaches girls or whatever, and
Hmm.
and she said, I don't know that I 1,000% agree with it or not, but I do like it. It said that boys boys win and they have fun.
Hmm.
Girls need to have fun and then they win.
Hmm.
And I mean, I get the concept, get the thing. I mean, I know that camaraderie and girls have got to like each other a whole lot more on a team than like.
Hmm.
I mean, than boys. I mean, I can hate your guts, and I'm still going to go out there and perform with you if that's what needs to happen to get a win. And
Yeah.
and sometimes girls aren't like that, and and that's like you said, taking it upon themselves. Like, I mean, they hang out together all the time, and they
Hmm.
do go to the lake and have sleepovers at each other's house all the time, and and I think that just says a lot about the group of kids that I have that we have
Yeah.
essentially. We both have them,
Yeah.
and they and like you said, regardless of what the outcome is at the end of the year, I feel like that hopefully those relationships and those friendships and the memories like last a lifetime for them, and then all the hard work that you know. Another interesting quote that sports is the only thing competition. I'm not gonna say sports. Competition is the only thing that you put in work, not knowing what the outcome's going to be. You
Yeah.
know, you may work your tail off and you may not win. You may do
Yeah.
nothing and sometimes win, but You know, and I think that's what makes competition in sports great is that you have to work at it in order to be great. And you know, everybody talks about her shot at the in the Final Four or whatever to win it.
Yeah.
You know, what people don't see is how many times she did that when nobody was watching. You know,
Yeah.
and I know that's cliche and that's been said a billion times by everybody in the world. But you know, I mean that's the truth. You know,
Yeah.
like you get kids, you know, in the past, whatever, my shot ain't falling, this, that, and the other. I sent this to our AD the other day. Actually, it was a video. It was some skit this Peter guy does on TikTok. He makes these basketball videos and stuff, and he's like, you know, hey, my shot feels weird. My shot ain't falling. Like, what's going on? And then, you know, hey, you want, you know, and he cuts like the thing. Like after practice, hey, I'm gonna be here a little bit. You want to hang around and get some extra shots in? No, I got to go or whatever. You know, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it, and that's everything in life. And I think that's why sports and competition teaches us so many things about life is because, you know, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. And if you don't,
Yeah.
you know, if you don't put everything into it, then you're you know, here we go, Nick Saban thing. You know, you wake up in the morning. What are you owed? Nothing.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't go to work every day and give your best effort, what are you going to get? Nothing.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most powerful things that Nick Saban's ever said in a long list of things of knowledge and nuggets. I call them Nick Saban nuggets. I'm sure somebody else has said that before too, but you know, I mean that's the truth, and I try to say every Nick Saban quote I can around my kids to try to instill that kind of mindset in them, so you know we can perform at our best when it's time, and it's
Yeah.
almost time.
I hope that they realize come November, and then I'm going to tell them the same thing come, March. November, you got 5 months. These for the seniors specifically. You got 5 months that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So everything that you do, because like at the end of the day, it's just a game,
Yeah,
right? Like they're going to eventually these kids are going to graduate, they're going to go off and they're going to have jobs, they're going to have kids, they're going to have families and all that, and it's just going to be a game. But right now, they ain't got to worry about that stuff. You ain't got to worry about starting a family. You ain't got to worry about careers and all this. So right now, your focus can just be that game.
yeah,
And so whatever, and if that is your goal, okay, what is your goal? Win a state championship. Okay, then everything that you do needs to be in service of that.
yeah. No, I mean
Whether
that's
it's being the best student doing your homework, whether it's putting in the extra shots, whether it's watching extra film, whether it's being there for a teammate when a teammate's having a rough day, everything that they need to do needs to be in service of that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, that goes back to I'll tell one last story here. We was playing a game at the Fighting T Browns
Yeah.
this past season, and you know, played awful. We never play well there, regardless of how good we are, regardless of how good they are. Just never really play good there. And, you know, we're playing bad, and obviously I had no idea that we would go on the run that we went on this year. You know, you don't ever know. I mean, it's a fickle thing, right? Because you know that kind of run could not happen this year. You know, you know that's why you play the game. You just don't know. You know, we play awful, and you know, I'm in there after the game, and I'm talking to them and stuff. And I've told other teams this too, but like it really like hits home with this group because like we didn't have any seniors last year.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was sitting there talking to him. It was like, you guys, because it was January or February at that point in time. So, you know, I was like, hey, you guys have like literally a little over a year to win a state championship. To go to the state tournament, whatever, you know, like you said, whatever your goal is. Of course, I said state championship because that's, you know, that's what they aspire to do. I mean, I think anytime, anybody, you know, Florida Gators wanted to go out and win a national championship this year. I think that's everybody's goal for the most part when you start a season, right? And I was like, you have little over a year to win a state championship. Like, I was like, I have forever. Not forever, but you know, I mean, I can do this. I can do this for 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, I have all the time in the world. You guys don't, and I don't think that, like, because I mean, if somebody would told me that as a kid, I'm like, what are you talking about? It's going to take a year. That's forever. You know,
Yeah.
but you know, like, what I was trying to get in that was them to grasp the what's the word I'm looking for? The urgency. Like,
Yeah.
you have to grasp the urgency. And, like, you know, I even looked at the 8th graders and said, hey, you guys got 4 years and it'll be over, and you'll be sitting in these seats and I'll be giving this same speech to you and you'll be seniors. Like, you know, they you know, you always hear as you get older, time goes by faster and all that. And I think it's just that I just think it's that we're conscious of our time and the time that we have as you get older. It's not that it goes by any faster. It just feels like it does because you're in the moment or whatever, if that makes sense. You know, and I was like, hey, like, you know, and this is the message I'd tell, you know, our parents and stuff too, or any parents of any athlete. Like, you've got 4 years. Like, enjoy it. You know, like, you don't, you know, like you said with them parents at the volleyball game the other night, like, just enjoy it. Enjoy that your kid's getting to do something they love, because they're not going to be, you know, you know, some teams have one or two that can go on and play in college. I've had some teams that nobody could, you know. So lots of times, you know, when you lose that last game as a senior, that's the last time you're going to play organized basketball. And, you know, and it hit, and I wasn't even very good, but it hit me hard. Like, when I was a senior on senior night, that I was like, I suck. I'm never going to get to play basketball again. I'm never going to have that, that sense of a team again, you know? And that was, I was wanting them to grasp the urgency of the situation. And I don't think that speech is one of the reasons we went on the run, but, you know, I mean, time's fleeting. You only get a certain amount of time to do that. So don't waste a single moment of it. If that's what you want to achieve, to pretty much wrap up what you just said. And, you know, I mean, sometimes you do everything in the world and it doesn't matter. You still don't win. You still don't do this. But that's what makes it great. And that's why we do it. That's why we do what we do.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I feel like that was rambling, but, you know, whatever.
No, it was not.
I feel like I had something else to add to that. Maybe I'll remember. Yeah. Maybe I'll remember it in a second.
Yeah, this group of girls, of course, you've had several classes, but this group of girls I know is special to you, but they're particularly special to me because they're my first group that I'm coaching. And so I hope that they, like you said, I hope that they understand the seriousness, and I think they do.
No, they get it. They do.
Yeah. There's
a
few on there that's very locked in.
Yeah.
Not but I mean, it's not, but
it still doesn't make it any easier.
No.
You know, and I'm not talking about winning.
Everybody would do it.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about winning. I'm saying, like, you can be locked in and know this is what I got to do, but another Nick Saban nugget here, it's human nature to be average.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, it's hard to get up, you know, at 5 a.m. and be at the school at 6:30 to lift weights from 6:30 to 7:30 and then go to school. Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. It's hard. It's hard for me. I'd like to stay up till 11 or 12 o'clock playing video games every night, but I've not been, because
a weird situation, because you're sad, but also you're happy too, because that's the natural progression of life. And all that good stuff. So,
well, I mean, I think that, win, lose, or draw, whatever happens, you know, I'm going to be an emotional wreck.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever our season is finally over, and then at graduation too.
Yeah.
You know, these kids were in second grade when I started working. So,
Yeah.
you know, I've seen them grow up, and,
Yeah.
you know, and I saw one of them step away from the game for a little bit and then come back to it. You know, so just, yeah, I'm going to be in a bad state. But this is the
Yeah.
other thing I was going to say, because I don't think that speech at Grundy really made us go on our little run. We talked in that first episode about that game at Copper Basin, and I don't know that I've even told very many people this, but I mean, obviously, you know, I said I sucked that night, that I did absolutely nothing to help us, and you know, as coaches, you have kids have games where they don't play well. We have games where we don't coach well. Okay, it happens. You know, especially in a situation like that where we were the better team, probably should have beat them by a lot, and you know, we lose to them. You kind of like shell shock there for a little bit when like things aren't going the way that you expect it to, right?
Yeah.
You know, after that game, we're on our way home, and we stop because we took vans that night because the weather was like crazy or something.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
There was like
We
a
had bad weather.
wind advisory
It
or
was
something.
wind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a wind advisory. So we stop to get something to eat, you know, and I send them all a message, like in our group chat. You know, I'm just like, hey, like, you know, I pretty much just apologized to them and told them how bad I was, and that, you know, that, you know, I took the blame for it because
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's all them when we win, and it's all me when we lose.
Yeah.
Okay, that's I can accept that. I can admit that. That's fine. It's not, you know, I mean, every award, of course, granted, you know, we got 3 teams in our district, but every Coach of the Year award or any award I've ever got is because of my kids. It's not, you know, it's them. It's not me. Okay, no matter how good you are, if you ain't got the players, you know, you're not gonna
You're
be
not
great.
out there shooting. You're not there defending.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, obviously we're responsible for game planning and all that kind of stuff, but like
Yeah.
they still have to go do it. They still have to go execute.
Yeah.
They still have to go do everything. So when, like I said, when we win, it's them. When we lose, it's me. You know, and I'll and that's okay. I can accept that. But you know, I text them all and said, hey, like, you know, that's on me. I'm sorry. I didn't do enough tonight. Didn't do enough for us to win that game or whatever. And you know, we talked about how good of kids they are. All their responses was, it's not your fault. You're great. And you know, I've never told anybody that before.
Yeah.
And you know, and granted, like, but like, I thought it said a lot about them and about us when they had my back when I wasn't as good as what I should have been.
Yes.
And I think it takes a big person to admit when they're wrong and take the blame for something. Because I could have very easily blamed it on them and said this, that, and the other, but it was 100% me.
Yeah.
100% me. Even if they don't believe that, I'm going to believe that forever.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not even a state championship game. That's a region championship game. That's 100% my fault.
You know this. Those girls will let you know if they don't have.
Oh
your
yeah,
back.
yeah. They will.
Me and some of them were talking about this just this week because I have some of them in my sociology class, and we were talking about like ethics and stuff like that, and loyalty and your culture, and I don't want to say our quarterback. I said that she is a lot like me in that she's a loyal person.
Yeah.
If she's got your back, like she's got your back, there's nothing you can do in that because that's how I feel about her. Like there's nothing. She'd have to do something real bad for me because she showed me that, and I think all of those girls are like that, to where like they know that you've got their back, so they've got your back.
Yeah.
Kids aren't stupid when it comes to that kind of stuff.
No, I mean, like, that's the thing. It's always the old saying. It's not the X's and O's. It's the Billies and the Joes. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah,
and like kids know when you care,
they do.
and they know when you're fake,
Hmm.
and I mean, they can read all that. They know all that, and I mean,
Yeah,
it's yeah. They know.
yeah, yeah. I just thought about something else. You were talking about how you're going to be a mess come basically springtime in general.
Yeah.
Um, Me and you are senior sponsors, so we have to be involved in like every. We're going to be with them for everything. Senior trip, we have to be with them. Project grad a little bit, prom a little bit.
I don't do project grad, so
Yeah. Well, I'm not
I'll be in
a
too
night
bad.
person,
I'll
so
be
I've
in
already
too bad of
told.
a state to be doing any project grad stuff. I will be heading
I
to the house.
I have told them that I will do my very best to stay as long as I physically can. But I also live 40 minutes from the school, so.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. Well, on that note, I think that's a good place to stop this episode, this edition of Totally Experts with Sap and Shane. Make sure those of you who are watching who are not hitting subscribe, make sure you hit subscribe. We
Smash that
also
subscribe
don't,
button.
yeah, don't be watching on one device with like 20 of y'all. Everyone, we need to get these numbers up. So,
Yeah, these are rookie
uh,
numbers.
yeah, which all the support we've gotten thus far, we appreciate it, and we hope that continues. So, for TSAP, I'm Shane. We'll talk to y'all next time.
See you next time. Thanks for watching.